Yo, what is crack-a-lackin', everybody? Caveman Jack, back for another reaction/review, and we are back live from the studio. Yo. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic week. Super excited. We have reached the 5th album of my Radiohead journey. We are listening to Amnesiac. As some of you guys might know, I've been checking out a bunch of the Radiohead albums. Prior to this channel, I hadn't listened to any Radiohead, so I checked out Kid A, blew my mind. It was an awesome experience, had so much fun with that. And based on some of the comments and the recommendations, I thought, why not? Why not go back to the start? I really enjoyed their sound. And so, yeah, we checked out Pablo Honey, The Bends, OK Computer, and now we are finally up to Amnesiac. So I have listened to Kid A already, so we've jumped that one. If you want to check out any of the previous Radiohead reactions, they are all in the channel. I will add a link to the playlist somewhere. I think it would go there. They're a bit of fun, and yes, very much blew my mind. So I'm really excited. It's been a good little while. I've been able to sit with OK Computer and listen to it a lot. Listen to it a lot since the reaction. Fantastic album. Continues to blow my mind every listen. We find a different sound or a different tone or a different shift that I completely just gain so much more respect for every time I hear this album. So Amnesiac is what I've been told by you guys is somewhat of a companion album to Kid A. It was recorded at the same time. So let's get it started. This is Amnesiac by Radiohead. Okay, so yeah, already trippy, already super trippy off the bat. Oh. Such strange sounds. But yeah, definitely feels like Kid A already. After years of waiting. Heavy auto-tune on the voice there. Nothing came. You realize. Oh, it's like a plane, we're just going up. The engines are starting and we're starting to fly. Breakdowns on this track already, just after years of waiting, nothing came. There is no man, get off my case, get off my case. Now that sounds like a video game-esque sound. Quite jarring and disorientating, this kind of first track. Packed like sardines in a crushed tin box. That is such a strange song title. It's kind of morbid in a way, insightful into maybe today's society, but very interesting first song. Very similar to Kid A in terms of the experimentation and the really abstract, jarring sounds that you hear throughout it. I can see how this type of sound may scare or deter people because it does. I can just imagine coming from OK Computer and that sound that they'd cemented and then transitioning into these two albums, Kid A and Amnesiac, it would be quite jarring and quite confusing. If I hadn't listened to Kid A first, perhaps this sound would have been more jarring to me. This definitely feels like an extension of that. I like how you kind of just have to open your mind to it and kind of flow with the sounds. You have to move with. And if you don't move with it, you'll probably hit a wall and go, what is this song? See slightly offbeat, which might trigger some people.
Jumped into the
That's good, that bit. It's beautiful. Gruesome and dark in sound. Everything was slightly offbeat. Everything felt a little bit out of place. And I will admit, at points I was like, God, I can't flow with this. I just can't flow with this because it is so offbeat. It perhaps may be a song that grows on you. There had moments on it that I really was like, okay, this is starting to feel fleshed out. I got to give props to the song there because it did send me directly to a darker place. It might just be a grower because it has the kind of classic Radiohead sound in terms of the piano and the very organic sounding instrumentation. Pulk. What's Pulk? Trippy as, man. It's like we're just going through a portal. So weird, man. It's pretty weird. I can't lie, it's pretty weird. We are all revolving doors. Interesting lyrics. Whoa. The pockets where it comes in out of this strange industrial sounding beat is yeah, wow, so randomly placed.
Does it look and does it don't till you can't come back from.
Feels like you're almost like stuck in like a mirror dimension of sorts, like you're in between two worlds. It's tough. That song was so chaotic in nature and in sounds. The way the vocal effects on the lyrics, really eerie and like unsettling. This whole song was unsettling because you were just in a state of kind of anxiety, like what is going on? For the most part, I wasn't really enjoying that song, and that constant beat, like it just kind of drowns out most of the stuff around it. At the end, when it comes back in that beat, it hit for me. It connected. And I was like, okay, it's tough. For the most part of that song, I wasn't really enjoying it. Come on, you think you drive me crazy. Well, you can take us. The harmonies in the back are beautiful on this song. Bass is good. Oh, that's good. You forget so easy. I like that. was probably my favorite song on the album so far. Had a real triumph to it. Still had that darkness to it. Yeah, I liked the progression on it. I liked how it started quite slow and you kind of setting a scene, and then by the middle of the song we kind of hits its strides. It's almost like you are riding into battle. That's what it kind of felt like. This album clearly has dark undertones, and conceptually I wonder what their kind of idea was around this album. You guys might be able to help me there because I'm a little lost right now. Is it just strictly experimentation? We are just having fun. We're just kind of going with the flow. Or are there certain undertones? It screams senses of anxiety again. OK Computer had that existential crisis feeling to it. And this album feels like that state of panic and anxiety again. Feels like the mind of someone that's quite chaotic and jumping from emotion to emotion. That classic Radiohead guitar. Okay, we've got this kind of interesting electronic drum beat. Cutting the mix very good. Multiple layers of the guitars overlapping each other here, which is cool. The use of the bass is great. Bass guitar work is tough. Staticky kind of snare drum. I like that echo delay on the... That's good. It's really good. That's good. A wild ride of a song. I might be wrong. So far, I've got to say this album isn't really my sound, but I'm just taking it all in and being open-minded. And there are multiple points on each of these songs that are, I think, magnificently crafted and evolve in a way that you were just not expecting. I really liked that little breakdown at the end of that song, but for the most part, the song was just, it didn't really connect with me. That classic Radiohead kind of progression. The way Tom's singing reminds me a lot of songs that we've heard. Pretty dark lyrics. Felt like we'd heard Knives Out on a bunch of different songs on their previous albums, and I think they were done a little bit better on the other albums. Knives Out, the chorus didn't really hit me too much. I didn't really like the tone it went for. Like they had a classic Radiohead song, but they tried to amnesiacify it. That's what we're going to call it. Amnesiacify it. for a tonal thing, I think that has been pretty impressive for them to have done that on this album. From a sonic perspective and how I'm enjoying it, I feel like, so this may connect with a bunch of people, and it probably will not connect with a bunch of people as well. Okay, this is a song from from Kid A. Is it like the Amnesiac version of it? Like this hopeful song is just sitting in this point of darkness. Oh, the trumpets in the back, like. If I liked that version of Morning Bell better than the original on Kid A. That was beautiful. Again, it felt like you were in this dark room and then Morning Bell was like the little shining light in that dark room, and it just was like little flickers. Again, this song was amnesiacified, and I thought the instrumentation surrounding the core song of Morning Bell to separate it from the original was just incredible. It's just so many fantastic sounds revolving around the lyrics, and it was just beautiful. I really love this song. I really love this version of Morning Bells. Sounding instrumentation on this one. Dollars and cents. I really like that song. It grew on me as it played out. The layering, the harmonies, the industrial sounding instrumentation on it was cool. It felt like dollars and cents. It felt like money. It felt like business. It felt like work. It wasn't jarring to me. It wasn't too jarring. It felt like I could follow it. Instrumental track, it seems. Just carries on that kind of unsettling nature. Feels very natural, very raw. terms of, yeah, just someone jamming. It's like it feels like the AUX cord isn't plugged in properly. Oh, that's good. I like the Sims on this. It's good. I like this progression. It'd be very difficult to make out what he's saying without the lyrics. It's a good song. Like Spinning Plates, I really loved that song. It had a great progression. Came in with this really just strange as beat. Really like choppy kind of beat. And then the Sims came in, and I thought the Sims progression on this song was fantastic. I liked how the verse started very out of focus. You could not make out what he was saying really without lyrics in front of you. And then by the chorus, where he starts talking about the spinning plates, it was a lot more clearer. And yeah, I've noticed that a lot of this album, there's points where it's in focus and it's out of focus. It's almost like you've got the glasses on and then you take the glasses off and you shift between those different views. One thing I really do love about Radiohead is when Tom can have pockets where he can just go to town. All right, this is the final track on the album, Life in a Glasshouse. This was Amnesiac. Very keen to have a chat about what our thoughts are. Again, starts very trippy. It's got a bit of bluesy feel to it.
Once again, I'm in trouble with my only friend, living in a glass house. Your Royal Highness says, of course I like to sit around chat. Of course I like to stand you a flat. Once there's someone listening in.
How's that for a dark way to finish the album? There's someone listening in. Wow, that was Amnesiac by Radiohead, their 5th studio album. A lot to take in that album. In comparison to Kid A, Amnesiac feels more experimental and more jarring. It's a tough one to go through because there is so much happening, so many different sounds, so many different changes of pace, and it's not consistent. It's very sporadic. We finished the album with this bluesy sound that I don't think I'd heard on any of their projects as of yet. The brass and the trumpets and all those sounds coming out there, and really dark lyricism. This album is full of really dark lyrics and dark concepts, it seems. And yeah, that state of anxiety and that state of panic is quite prevalent throughout each of the tracks. I think this album is probably worth a couple of listens, and there might be different points where this album could hit, and different songs may hit at different points in your life. Because there are songs on this album that I automatically really, really love, and that side of experimentation and the darkness surrounding the song hits for me. And there are points where it's a bit too eerie, too jarring, and really tough to follow that I wasn't a huge fan of. I really liked You and Whose Army. I thought that was a really triumphant song. Had two sides to it that I thought really transitioned, really nicely. The Amnesiac version of Morning Bell was phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. I think I might actually like that version better than the original. Beautiful, beautiful. Instrumentation surrounding that song was just so effectively done. It had that chaotic nature that Amnesiac was providing, but it didn't feel... I didn't get too lost with it. Dollars and Cents was interesting. Dollars and Cents was another good track, had that kind of industrial sounding instrumentation throughout it. And again, it felt like a huge concept song. A lot of these songs felt like they are analogies or metaphors representing certain themes that the band wanted to reflect and kind of dive into. I really liked Like Spinning Plates. I thought the idea that I presented of focusing in and out, each song has moments of focus, of clarity, and then moments where it's very unclear what's going on. I think Like Spinning Plates does that really, really well. It blends those two elements really effectively. I think Kid A was a lot easier to take in as opposed to Amnesiac. I think Amnesiac doubles it or like just triples it, the level of experimentation and sounds to it. There's less songs like How to Disappear Completely or Motion Pictured Soundtrack or the National Anthem. There's less songs there on this album. There's more sounds and combinations of feelings and it's expression. This album feels very artsy at a time where they had gone from OK Computer to now Kid A, and then the follow-up album being very similar to Kid A but doubling down on that experimentation. I can imagine it would have been very jarring, very disorientating for fans that had kind of found them through the bends, fans that started with Pablo Honey, and then fans that would have found them with OK Computer would have been like, what is this sound? You do hear at points the three-piece guitar onslaught. You do hear the classic Radiohead vibe in certain points, but it's less prevalent on this album. It's very unclear what you're getting on each track, and only a handful of songs that really connected with me, but I have to give credit to the band and have to give credit to the instrumentation on it that allowed me to have those moments of unease and what the heck is going on. But anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think. I've read a bunch of comments saying that Amnesiac was jarring for people on first listen, and over time it kind of grew on them. I've also heard people saying that they're not a big fan of Amnesiac. Some people say it's one of their favorite albums. So I'd love to hear it. Let's engage, let's talk, let's discuss what are some of the key elements of this album? What are your favorite tracks on this album? Where do you think it stands in their discography? If this is your first time checking out one of my videos on the channel here, we listen to a wide array of music, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Like I said, the introduction, we've listened to a bunch of the Radiohead albums. So if you want to check out some of them, feel free to do so. I've got a playlist of the albums, and yeah, it's been really, really fun, and I'm super keen to continue that journey. Next, we have Hail to the Thief, I believe, so I'm pumped for that, pumped to check that one out. And yeah, if you're a returning viewer, you're a returning Radiohead fan, thank you for being here. I've had a lot of fun with this journey, and a huge part of that is engaging with you guys and having this conversation. I have got a Instagram and I've just recently made a Twitter for Caveman Jack, so I think there's links to it on the channel somewhere. So if you're interested in that, I might just put up updates, put up random posts there. So if you guys want to get around that, that'll be cool as well. But if not, totally fair. Yeah, this was another album reaction / review. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'm Caveman Jack. Take care, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Cheers.